if you're a Razorback, you've probably been a Razorback for many, many years,
right.
And you're born a Razorback. And so those things are so unique here. The people are so kind, and to be honest with you, I want to be the guy that came in here and we were able to turn the program back to where the University of Arkansas should be, and I wanted that burden on my shoulders. I wanted it, and because I knew I could hire people around me that felt the same way, that could coach and recruit, and we've done that. And so I wanted that pressure. I certainly have it, but I wanted it.
Initially, the first day on the job, Brad Davis, the guy that you recruited to Oklahoma, coached. You know, he was in the building, but nobody knew Brad was in Fayetteville. Talk about that staff, and why was Coach Davis the first hire that you brought to Fayetteville?
Well, Brad, I knew, in my opinion, that he's the top offensive line coach in the country. I knew who he was. To be honest with you. I feel like Brad's my son. I mean, I do, and I know he's not. He's got a wonderful mom and dad. But I felt that way about him. I've loved him for a long, long time, since he was 18 years old, and I've been involved in his coaching searches, and hopefully I had some influence in some of the jobs that he was able to get. But I mean, you're talking about a guy that's been offered basically every job in America, every quality college job, a lot of them, let's say that, in America. And when I called him, it was like, for you? I said, no, for Arkansas. He said, I'm there, and he came. Then he stayed, because he's had several offers since he's been here too, and he stayed faithful to the university and to the state and to myself. And he was the first guy, and I had been in contact with Barry when I thought maybe possibly Barry Odom, and maybe possibly I'd get the job. And I understand Barry turned some pretty nice jobs down himself to come be with us at Arkansas. So we kind of got it started rolling a little bit, and then I was sitting here on my phone rings, and if I don't have a contact, it doesn't come up with a contact, then I'm not going to answer it, and I'm not better than anybody. I just, I no telling who it is, and maybe I didn't pay my credit card or something. I don't know. But it was Kendall Browse.
Welcome in. It's our Thursday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio here on KDSJ 479. As we're on the air with you guys Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. And we'll let you hear more of our Sam Pittman. With the COVID situation, there's not a lot going on, but we'll find pieces that maybe some of our listeners throughout the course of this off season hadn't had a chance to catch up on. So we thought we'd bring you in a little Sam Pittman with our one-on-one sit down. And I want to go over here to my producer, co-host, everything behind the scenes. What's up, bro?
What's happening with you today, Pat?
You just woke up from a good little nap. Where did you eat at?
Man, that put you to sleep, that knock you out, Kung Pao, KDK's chicken, man. Every time I'm starting to eat it, I just feel like I gotta have me a little nap afterwards because it's so good.
And we also want to make a note with that being said, give a shout out to the sponsors that make this show possible each and every day. And we'll start that out by saying Lindsay & Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville, and an office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion is located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and the one we just talked about, the one that put my guy over here to sleep. He was out for maybe 30, 45 minutes, but I could understand if you tasted and smelled this food. KDK's Chicken, they're located down at 989 South Razorback Road. Go see Keith, Kathy. Get a plate of that love, and like we say, it's on that building. Not your mama's. The best chicken and waffles in the South. Meet us there or beat us there. KDK's Chicken. And I want to get today's lineup started, as we got a real special show coming up for all our listeners and viewers. Over the weekend, Arkansas had a lot of success, in particular in the OK State. So we thought we're going to bring on the two newest Razorbacks in 2021, defensive back out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Keaun Parker. KP's going to be on explain why he chose to be a Razorback, and then following up KP, we're going to head just slightly up the road to Midwest City and get the state's top player and running back from Midwest City, Carl Albert High School, 2021 running back Javion Hunt. We'll find out what he has to say on the reasons why he wants to be a pit hog, so to speak, and then we're going to close it out by going and getting the guy that we always like to bring on when it's hog recruiting, Otis Kirk of hogville.net. We'll talk about Keaun Parker, Javion, and many, many more. Who's 5 guys that Otis has his eye on to possibly be on the pit hog commit bus? And we want to get this thing started. We're going to let you hear more Sam Pittman of our sit down, and then when we come back, the hog guys begin. Let's talk to one of the new Razorbacks, Keaun Parker. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
Being asked, there was going to be an accountable answer for it soon. It might be 15 minutes, it might be the next morning, but hey, I'd like for you to do this, and then I'm wanting to know the answer. He wouldn't say that, but you knew that eventually within the next 12 minutes to 12 hours, you was going to have the answer for whatever the question was. I think that was different than, hey, I know I hired a lot of great recruiters. You go out and recruit, and man, we're going to get a lot of people. I think there's note writing. I think there's texting. I think there's group texting. I think there's a whole lot of things that we can do that possibly other schools don't, or maybe we can do more than they do. So I learned that from Kirby, that, you know, and the old saying is everybody has time, and, you know, what you do with it. There's a lot of truth to that. And I think you have to watch it to being overbearing and all those things. But you certainly don't want to lose a kid in recruiting because somebody outworked you for it. And I think that's what I learned from Kirby.
Looking in the SEC West, LSU just won the national championship under Coach O. When you see coaches like Coach O, you know, get a job that he wanted, state of Louisiana, you know, how much does that motivate you to think maybe, you know, Arkansas, I want to be here, and maybe that could be me at that stage? One time, was that a driving force for you?
Well, quite a bit, you know, but I will say this. Coach O, you can tell his passion for Louisiana, you know, and I know they're a rival school and they're in the West and all that, but I really enjoy watching him talk and watching him speak about Go Tigers, you know, and because I know how passionate he is about the program that he's in, and I assume what he did, he went and hired who he felt were the best assistants for his job that he had, and let him coach. And certainly that's what we're trying to do here. We're so far off from Coach O and all that, so certainly there's no comparison there. He's already proven that. But it is very awesome to see how he feels about Louisiana like I do about the state of Arkansas.
A lot of other coaches. Coach O is just one. You'll be going against the likes of Saban, Jimbo Fisher, a lot of coaches in this league that's coached in national championship games. Some have won as head coaches or coordinators. You know, how exciting is that?
It's about that time. I'm thankful for the opportunities I've had growing up while playing with the TYA Bulldogs, Carver Wildcats, and the Booker T. Washington Hornets. My football journey has instilled in me hard work, discipline, selflessness, sportsmanship, and how to handle success and failure on and off the field. Along with the unconditional support from my friends and coaches, I want to give a special thanks to my family, whom have been with me every step of the way, keeping me honest and level-headed at all times. And now it's about that time. The time that I take everything that has been instilled in me and do something amazing with it. Going from numerous offers to narrowing it down, I am pleased to announce that I'll be continuing this journey at the University of Arkansas. Go Hogs!
welcome in, welcome in. It's our Thursday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. It's our Hall Guys edition, and Arkansas, as you watch the intro video, just got really, really good news by one of the top players in the OK State. And with that being said, we want to bring on the newest Arkansas commit in defensive back, 2021 new Arkansas commit, Keaun Parker. KP, welcome to OTH, my man.
What's up, man?
KP, talk about the commitment. We just watched your commitment video that you put out over the weekend, but talk about what all went into your decision to finally end all recruiting and become an Arkansas Razorback.
It was a decision for my family and I, and we felt that Arkansas was a great place with great benefits on and off the football field, going along with me, helping me becoming a man that I look forward to being in a couple of years. And I feel like Arkansas, Fayetteville can help me do that in so many different ways. And also on the football field, I look forward to being a part of this change that's about to happen. And just ready to get there and get it done.
KP, how much of just the fact that you had made a couple of unofficial visits, a couple of junior day visits, going into your junior year, made a summer visit to the University of Arkansas, had a chance to kind of get a chance to see the landscape, and then with the fact that Coach Pittman and staff came in with a really invigorating attitude, how much of a factor was all that to make it so easy to be a Razorback?
I mean, it was a big factor because I got a chance to see like 95% of what the University of Arkansas had to offer, and that's not just with the football, like the academics, the student success, just the facilities and everything else. Like I had meetings with coaches, and that helped top it off.
Now, with the fact that you'll be coached by one of the youngest defensive back coaches in all of college football, in Sam Carter, when you had a chance to meet Coach Carter, what was that vibe like, and how did that make it easy?
It was a real chill vibe and down to earth. He's a real cool guy and a good coach, and I'm looking forward to being able to play for him because he knows his stuff and he wants to win. And he wants to help mold his players into what he would want his son to grow up to be. So I look forward to that.
Well, talk about that conversation and what that was like when you were able to reach out to head coach there at Arkansas, Sam Pittman. Take me through that conversation. How did Coach Pittman receive the news?
Coach Pittman and the rest of the staff was very excited. We were on the phone call for about 45 minutes that night when I called and talked about it. Everybody was excited, including my family and all the coaches at Arkansas.
Now, momentarily after you're concluding your interview, a good friend of yours, also out of the state of Oklahoma, committed to Arkansas the very next day, that being Javion Hunt out of Carl Albert. How excited are you? And did you guys talk about possibly playing on the same collegiate football team? And with that, and if so, are you guys doing some in-state recruiting for more of the Oklahoma flavor heading to Fayetteville?
Yes, sir. We have been talking about it for a year now, almost a little over a year. And yes, we also are recruiting in our state of Oklahoma. Looking forward to getting some good guys. Hopefully, we can make it happen.
Who's some of those guys you got your eye on, KP?
Colin Oliver. We've been trying to recruit him. Melvin Swindle. Imai Triplet, and Kendall. We're trying to recruit Kendall. I'm not sure how that's going right now, but we're trying.
Trying your best. Well,
yeah.
I know you got a busy time, and I want to thank you for taking out time. Demetrius, I will say the young man did some lawn mowing service before he came on the show, so he's more than a football player. I mean, he can do that too. So if y'all looking for any type of help, right now until 2021, you can't pay the guy for his likeness, but pay for his ability to cut the grass, okay? But hey, if there's any message that you'd like the Razorback fan base to know from Keaun Parker, the 2021 defensive back from Booker T. Washington out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. What's that one message you'd like the fan base to know, KP?
WPS, go Hogs.
All right, my man. Well, hey, we're not going to just shut you out. When we get done and we get into the football season, let's try to get this chip, and then we're going to do a Keaun Parker diary as we move throughout the season. You up for that?
Yes, sir.
All right, KPA. You have a blessed one, my man, and congratulations, and thanks for taking time out with me here on OTH.
Appreciate it, man. You too.
All right.
All right.
Keaun Parker, the 2021 defensive back prospect. Demetrius, we've seen film of Keaun as we've had the young man on the show multiple times prior leading up to his commitment. But this is a big-time get from a program over there in Tulsa who's considered to be one of the elite high school programs. To start the pipeline, getting those type of kids has to be really big, in particular in a position of need.
Absolutely. You know, I saw a couple of feedback online saying, talking about just the type of kids Pittman was recruiting and them not being 5-star recruits or 4-star recruits. But I think when you look at the situation that Sam Pittman is, and you come from a team having, you know, only 4 SEC wins in the last 2 to 3 years, I think that's a plus that you can get any kid coming in here as highly recommended as Mr. Parker is. I think he can really come in and make an immediate impact, especially at the cornerback position. And like you said, it's a position that hasn't really been a high draft pick
be one of the
for
elite
Arkansas, and I think if we can add that, you know, to players starting to get drafted from that defensive back, I think that can help us get that extra kind of boost needed to get to that elite type of defense. Because I think for you to be those, you know, top tier defenses in the league, you have to have high caliber defensive backs.
Corey Work made a great statement, and Coach Pittman has that passion. I think, and that just bleeds throughout his staff. I mean, we had on Nathaniel Rutherford yesterday, a Rocky Top insider, and he mentioned a couple of elite recruiters, and Coach Graham, Coach T. Martin, and those guys. But at the same time, when your head coach has just as much passion, and he also mentioned about being an elite recruiter of the year, you know, Coach Pittman has that allure of just been able to build relationships and get some of the nation's elite players to buy into, you know, what he's trying to put together either on the offensive line. And now really big at the University of Arkansas, he's able to sell his entire program, and he's been able to go out and hire coaches that have just the same amount of passion as he has to recruit to the SEC. We keep talking about it all the time, Demetrius, and I mean, it rings true. You have to understand this league from a coaching standpoint, but even more so from a recruiting standpoint, because if you don't recruit to the level each and every year, you're going to fall behind. Arkansas has felt that. I mean, they've not had the classes that are equal year in and year out at all the positions, and as a result, I mean, you see what's happened over the last 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, you talk about it all the time. You know, it only takes 1 or 2 classes for you to kind of drop the ball on recruiting high-end caliber players to where you kind of fall off in the SEC, especially the SEC West with teams like Alabama, you know, teams on the uprise like a Tennessee. You got a Texas A&M, guys that are going to recruit at a high caliber level. You really don't have too many years that you can kind of miss getting those top SEC caliber recruits.
I mean, how big is it, though, that you're able to go into another state and get their top players, like get the #1 player whom we have coming up here shortly, and Javion Hunt from Carl Albert out of Midwest City, 4-star running back. You get Keaun Parker, another top 5 kid out of the Tulsa area. You couple the fact that they were able to get Miles Slusher out of the Oklahoma area. Jacob Sexton's another 2021 young man that we've had on our show out of that Oklahoma area, and it just, you can kind of see that Sam Pittman and Barry Odom, being from that state, they're really going to make the state of Oklahoma a high priority for this program over here in Fayetteville.
And I think they should. I think also, you know, when you look at it from a marketing standpoint, it does the university good when we can go get neighboring states like Oklahoma, and you can get guys that come from notable programs from the state of Oklahoma and combine that with the University of Arkansas brand, and then it just makes it more diverse. I think it really adds to the culture, and when you get those cross rival games like we have in basketball and things like that, it only expands the brand, and it makes it more profitable for the university to really expand into states like that and make them funnel schools.
And I think it goes well and it bodes well when you're talking about Arkansas those kids are choosing Arkansas over Oklahoma,
Absolutely.
Nebraska.
Blue chip. I think
Power 5 schools that are really, really on the upswing as far as their program and elite players. When Arkansas is being associated with that type of player over the history, and we can go back to watching history because that's what we all like to go back to. History doesn't lie. When you can recruit the elite players here at Arkansas, most of the time you're able to compete. But, Demetrius, we all know it has to come on that offensive line. And I'm telling you, when the Hogs are big and physical and versatile on that offensive line, in their history in Fayetteville, they've had a really good football team. And that goes back to some of the great offensive line coaches that they've been able to bring here. But no offensive line coach better in my years of covering this program than Sam Pittman. But we're going to continue on because we got another pit hog, another commit coming on out of Midwest City Carl Albert High School, the #1 player in that state, Javion Hunt. The big running back's going to tell us why he chose to be an Arkansas Razorback. All that's coming up. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a moment.
But once the game starts, it's all about your kids and do you have them ready to go, do you have them prepared and all that. But certainly the names that you just said of coaches, it certainly solidifies that one of the greatest leagues in the country is the SEC West.
You talk about your strength and conditioning program, Coach. What's your philosophy as far as strength and conditioning goes for your football program in the SEC going forward?
Well, I think if you look at our team right now, we have to get bigger. So we hired Jamil Walker from Georgia, and we have to get more physical. We have to get bigger. We have to get faster, all those things. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to instill discipline and confidence in the weight room. And but we have to be a bigger football team. Games are won on line scrimmage in this league, and we have to get bigger physically. We have to recruit bigger on the O and D lines. And certainly skill matters, all that. I'm not saying that, but if you can't win up front on either side of the ball, you're going to be in trouble on a Saturday. So we're trying to build confidence in that room.
Two quick questions. Recruiting territories. How will you break up?
I think we're going to have 10 in the state of Arkansas. We've already broke that up, and then I believe we're a regional recruiting base. In other words, I think if you're touching us, we're recruiting you. So obviously Oklahoma, Texas, the states that are touching us. And I think we're going to have a presence in Georgia because I was in Georgia, and I think we are going to have a presence in Georgia. We'll always have a presence in Florida. But we're trying not, it's not about the number of schools you see each time you go out. It's about the people you affect and the knowledge you've learned when you went into the school. I don't care if our coaches go 8 schools. I'd rather them go 4 and make sure that they got the knowledge and
A Titan is one that is gigantic in size or power. These last 3 years with my Titan family have been nothing but amazing, winning 3 state championships with my brothers. 2 of my goals have now been accomplished, and it's only the beginning. Many goals ahead to be obtained. I knew before I ever put on pads, I wanted to be a football player. From the first time I touched the ball, I dreamed of state championships and playing college ball before I could tie my shoes. I was born loving the game of football. My parents put me in every sport you can think of before I ever played football, from soccer to track to basketball to baseball. Pop said no matter how hard I tried, I always went back to football. Nothing makes me feel the way football does outside of family and faith. It's a true blessing to have great supportive parents who push me to fulfill my dreams and more every day. I couldn't ask for a better set of grandparents and a sister who doesn't let me get away with anything. I'm thankful to God for an opportunity that has been put before me and to every single coach that recruited me. I appreciate every principal, teacher, coach, and teammate that has helped me reach this point. I still have something to grind for with my guys before moving on, as well as completing my goal as valedictorian. My name is Javion Hunt. I'm a Titan and a future Razorback. See you soon on the hill, Razorback Nation. Woo pig.
Welcome in. Yes, the bird has landed. The state's top player out of Oklahoma has decided over the weekend to commit to the University of Arkansas and become a pit hog. So we thought we'd make our way to Midwest City, Carl Albert High School, and talk to the big fella, running back 2021 commit, Javion Hunt. Jay, welcome to OTH, my man.
That's good. Thanks for having me.
Javion, let's get off in it. You made your decision on Sunday, Mother's Day, to be an Arkansas Razorback. Talk about what went into that, and how do you feel after the decision several days have been made?
It's a lot of relief. Really happy to be a hog. Really happy to be a part of the family, and just ready to get to work and be a contributor to that program and its success day one step on campus.
What went into it, Javion, to go ahead and commit to the University of Arkansas? You had a lot of options, in particular the two flagship schools in that state. I mean, you're right there, dead center in the middle. What went into picking Arkansas over the in-state and other schools that made you such a high priority?
I took a visit with the old staff, and then took a visit with the new staff, and my feelings for the school never really changed, and I really believe that spoke value, and I just followed my heart and ready to be a hog, and that the hog ways and the hog tradition really just drew me in. Now I'm here.
Now I know there had to be some jubilation in the household with so many relationships, that you have with this Arkansas staff. Coach Pittman recruited your dad to Oklahoma. Your dad playing with offensive line coach Brad Davis. Talk about just what that conversation was like, Javion, when you and your dad Jay had the conversation with Pittman and Davis, and you let them know you were going to be a Razorback. How excited were you guys?
They were just fired up, and honestly, just very welcoming, knowing that we already had some family ties. So it's just family from home once I get there. And that's one of the exciting things about me joining the Razorback family.
Now, I know you and Coach Jimmy Smith also formed the relationship, but, with the fact that you were able to make a couple unofficial trips to Fayetteville, Javion, even before Coach Pittman became the head football coach, how much of a factor did that play in that you had already had a chance to see the campus and the facilities?
It was big because the second time I went, I knew what it was, the facilities, the campus. I knew all about that. I had a lot of experience and time there. So I was really just into getting the coaches and getting a feel for them and seeing how they feel about me and getting to build a great relationship with them.
Now, Keaun Parker did it on Saturday. You do it on Sunday. The Oklahoma pipeline, you get where I'm going, it's starting to flood to Fayetteville. I talked to Keaun Parker. We had him on just prior to having you on, Javion. I know you and him had talked about possibly playing at the same school. It became a reality over the weekend. But who are some of the Oklahoma guys that you and KP have on your list that you'd like to hopefully join you in Fayetteville?
We got guys like Colin Oliver at Edmond Santa Fe, Jaden Bray from Norman, receiver out of Norman, five-star Gentry Williams from Booker T as well. He's a 2022 kid, but we're hoping we can land him. If a kid out of here to Charles Melvin Swindle, he would be a contributor on the O-line or D-line, maybe him. And those are some key guys I think could really help us from the state of Oklahoma.
Talking with Javion Hunt of Carl Albert High School there in Midwest City. He's the #1 player in the state of Oklahoma, 2021 running back, committed to the University of Arkansas, and Coach Sam Pittman and Jimmy Smith and that entire staff over the weekend. But, when you look at it, what were some of the other schools, Javion, had it not been Arkansas, that, maybe were in the final decision for you?
There's some good guys out there, some good coaches, some good staffs, such as Nebraska and Memphis, where I built pretty good relationships with those coaches. But honestly, I'm just happy to be a Hog and ready for what the future holds with Hog Nation.
Anything you want to let the Razorback Nation know about Javion Hunt as he makes his way through his senior year and prepares to come to Fayetteville for his collegiate career? Anything you'd like to say to those people?
Just that I plan on doing whatever I have to do once I get there to be a contributor on and off the field to the city of Fayetteville and the University of Arkansas.
Well, Javion, I know how you just got in from working in the lab. I thank you for taking time out. I'm going to let you get some time and go get some food and refuel, and because I know you don't stop. I mean, that's what it takes to be the #1 player. And thanks for taking time out, my man. Congratulations, and I look forward to covering you. And also, too, can we keep a little Javion Hunt, update going throughout the football season?
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. Well, hey, you have a blessed one, and hey, tell your dad and family I said hello, and have a great, great day.
Yes, sir, I will. God bless.
That was 2021 new Arkansas running back commit from Midwest City, Carl Albert High School, Javion Hunt. Demetrius, 6'1", about 205, 210, with great vision, hips. I mean, this guy is what they look like at the SEC level at that position.
Absolutely, and I think, with the interview that we had on during the break, Sam Pittman mentioned just that we have to get bigger, stronger, and faster. And I think when you look at a lot of these 21, 22 kids, you see just that, guys 6'5", 270, guys, 6'8", 300 on the offensive line. Like, those are incredible numbers that you see usually seniors having at the end of their SEC career, and these guys are coming in as freshmen, not even being on a meal plan or a college weight program to really have those type of numbers. So, I'm just really excited to see what Sam Pittman is going to do these upcoming years.
You just can see. You can see they have to get bigger, faster, stronger. They have to get faster at running back. I think bigger on the offensive lines and defensive lines. You get more athletic and versatile at your linebackers, defensive ends. I mean, this coaching staff has been able to identify the immediate needs for this program quicker, Demetrius, than I can recall any staff being able to go out, build a brand, and get not just a player, but get the type of players that you win national championships, conference championships, you play in playoffs. I mean, their brand is out there, and I mean, these are some elite coaches because, as I say, they get it. Coach Pittman has sold the program and sold his belief in that you can recruit elite athletes to the University of Arkansas. Time and time again, I've always heard that it was hard to recruit to Fayetteville. Not buying that anymore after watching what Coach Pittman and his staff have been able to do. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back because our guys going to talk about the new commitments in Keaun Parker, Javion Hunt, and who else are the Hog guys watching? Give us a few that maybe he might want to keep an eye on. Otis Kirk of Hogville.net. He's joining us up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a bit.
When you went into the school, I don't care if our coaches go 8 schools, I'd rather them go 4 and make sure that they got the knowledge and they affected people in that school when they went in.
Last question, Sam. Is Arkansas, will this be your last stint in college coaching?
This is it. No matter, this is it. This is my last job. I've been privileged to be the head coach, named the head coach here, and this is it. As long as they'll have me, then we'll just stay right here and see what we can get done.
And final message to the Razorback Nation. Well, if there was one message, and everybody, whatever Sam Pittman says at this point, they want to listen to. What's that one message that you want them to know, for this football program under Sam Pittman?
Well, we want them to know that everybody in this building is proud to be here. I think that's the biggest thing I want them to know, and then I want them to know that we're going to work each and every day. because we want to make the state proud of our football team. You see what's going on in basketball and in baseball and all the women's sports and all that. We want to be a part of something. That sign right there says you're not coming to play for the University of Arkansas, you're coming to play for the state of Arkansas. And if that's the case, we want to make the state proud of us, and that we're working each and every day to get that done.
Well, Sam, we welcome you back to the Hill, hopefully for a lot of successfur Saturdays, and just want to thank you for taking time out.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Great interview. Appreciate you.
And can I get a yes, sir, to the camera?
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to our Thursday edition of OTH here on KDSJ 479, and we're going to continue on with the Hog Eye segment. We like talking recruiting because that is where you find the Jimmies and the Joes, and they say it about the SEC, it just means more. And Sam Pittman is starting to put the brand out there as he collected 2 more new pit hogs in Keaun Parker and Javion Hunt. So let's talk about them, and what better way to do that than to bring our good buddy on of Hogville.net, Otis Kirk. Otis, welcome to OTH, my man.
Hey, man. Thank you for asking me to come on. I'm trying to read and talk to you at the same time. I can barely do one thing. But no, hey, thank you for asking me to come on, Pat. I will concentrate on what I'm doing now.
Just had on 2 of the newest Arkansas commitments in 2021 D-back, Keaun Parker from Booker T. Aaron Tulsa, and also to the top player out of the state of Oklahoma, Javion Hunt, the running back there at Carl Albert in Midwest City. Talk about those 2 additions and, the brand that Coach Pittman and the staff are starting to get out with the situation they came in. This hadn't been a very winning program, but how impressed are you that that brand is really out there for all the top prospects to be aware of?
Yeah, let me tell you something. Anytime you can get a kid out of Tulsa, Booker T. Washington, you do it. I mean, they've sent Felix Jones, Eric Bennett, Jared Collins, and other kids over here to Arkansas besides those kids. But anytime you can get a kid out of that school, you get them, because they're going to have somebody every year. Right. I mean, they have kids every year, multiple kids every year, and so that's a great school to recruit. I mean, I always look at 5 schools in the Tulsa area, Pat. I look at Tulsa, Booker T. I look at Jinx, Broken Arrow, Owasso, and then Union. Those are the 5 schools that I look at. And if you can get into those 5 schools, and then there'll be some kids in other schools, but those 5, and then get Hunt. I thought he was the best running back Arkansas is recruiting. I really had on my so-called board. I looked at them of all the running backs that Arkansas was on, and I thought Hunt was the best running back they were recruiting. I mean, I love that kid. And Parker, by the way, I think he's a kid that can come in and play pretty early at cornerback. I really liked him. I'm not trying to get away from him, but Hunt, I just felt like Arkansas. They only signed 1 running back last year, Pat, and I felt like they really need to sign 2 this year. And getting Hunt allows them to be pretty selective on the second one, whether it's Cameron Valdez or one of these other kids. They've got other options at running back now, and they can afford to be a little picky since they've gotten Hunt in the fold. So I love both those kids, to answer your question. And anytime you can get kids out of Oklahoma, you get them, because that is another place that's close to Arkansas. I heard Coach Pittman talking to you about that, about the states touching Arkansas. I really thought Chad Morris kind of started that theory, I mean, Bill had gotten away from it. He recruited Big Ten a lot. I thought Coach Morris, in fairness to him, started that, and it's good that Sam's come in and kind of picked up where Chad left off in that, and trying to maintain it. And I like that theory. I love that theory.
When you look at Arkansas, Otis, the thing that sticks out to me with so many kids that we bring on and talk to them is Arkansas is in there with some of the elite Power 5s, the Clemsons, the Michigans, the Georgias, the LSUs. And it just seems like since Pittman and his staff have been here, these offers are coming after Arkansas has long already offered these young men. Talk about that evaluation process, because when at the initial press conference, Sam said you had to understand the SEC. What are you starting to see with, like he said, recruiting on steroids? I mean, they're recruiting at the positions of need, don't you think?
Well, they are, and you can look at some of the linebackers they're recruiting, Pat. Look at the difference in the size of these kids than maybe the ones they've recruited in the past. You know, yet they can still, you know, they feel like they can develop these kids. Like take a Michael Lunds out of Kentucky. They feel like they can develop his speed and get him SEC quality speed, and he obviously has, God gifted him with some good size, great size. So I think that's what they're looking at. And if you look at that, then that's a big step up there. And you can go down every position, you can do that. I mean, the defensive tackles, they're recruiting the 6'3", 310, 320 kids. I use linebacker, but you can go to every position. I mean, and then two things that Sam is going to look at. He's going to look at size and he's going to look at speed. And if you don't have what they want in speed, then they have to feel like they can develop that. It may be a mechanical issue. It's not necessarily, hey, that kid's slow. No, I mean, that's not the case. A lot of these kids don't know how to run. You and I have been over those camps when they run the 40, and you see a kid on the takeoff pad, he stands straight up. Right. Well, then he runs, and then he stops. He slows down. He don't stop. He starts slowing down 1 to 2 yards before the end of 40. Well, you're killing yourself. You're going to run a terrible time doing that. Yet you may be one of the fastest players there. You've got to know how to run. And that's what I think they feel like they can teach these kids.
The one thing that I also have noticed, Arkansas under Sam Pittman really starting to brand out. When they hired Ryan Rose, you just knew that junior college, opportunity and I guess floodgates would open with so many relationships Coach Rose has by having such a great program there at Hutch. Talk about the three, you talk about Isaiah Cole, you talk about Jalen Williams. Give me another JUCO player. Joko Willis comes to mind. Those three guys, right. If you were able to get, say, two of those guys, how important would that be, Otis, for this football program?
Well, it'd be huge. It'd be huge to get those kids because, I mean, if you get two of those, you're getting your defensive tackles. You're getting older players who can come in and contribute right away. I mean, that would be huge, Pat. And that's what I like about Coach Rhodes recruiting Kansas. You know, if you remember, Coach Nutt went and got James Shebest from Butler County. You and I and Brett went over to Miami, Oklahoma, and saw Shebest when he was the head coach at Butler County play NEO. We were there that night, and he had Rudy Johnson, the quarterback, and Daniel Cup, the quarterback, and there was a lot. They had some past studs out there on the field. Both teams did that night, and but I mean, I'm just saying, you recruit somebody, you go get Coach Rhodes from Hutchinson. You know, he knows all those coaches out there. He's coached against them. He's probably recruited against them on a lot of those kids that went to other schools. So I mean, he knows that talent up there, and I think that'll do wonders for Coach Pittman. And I love that Kansas Jayhawk League. And then what they've done now, they've basically gotten it combined with the Iowa League in the sense that they play each other. So you're getting it's almost like they're combined. You know, they're not, but it's almost like they are. And that's where Isaiah Cole, I love the Cole kid. I think he's a big-time player. Rolling kid at Hutchinson is from Broken Arrow High School, same school Miles Slusher. Right. You get into those schools, you're getting kids that you're familiar with. You got the Williams kid down in Mississippi, big player, big lineman that can really run, got a lot of offers. After Arkansas offered Cole, OU came in. That shows you that Sam and them are doing a great job evaluating because they're finding kids. And then after they find them, OU, Missouri, and schools come in and offer them. It's happening. Hey, what's happening on court? Hey, when they offered, I talked about, I think it was on here I talked about, but I mean, Pat, remember Cole Carson? He had 4 offers. Arkansas was the 4th offer for that kid. He had like Ivy League school. He had 2 small schools, right. 4 of them, counting Arkansas. And people ask me, why are they offering that kid? When they got a commitment for him, he had 22 offers. And I'm telling you, Ohio State is thinking about offering that kid. I mean, he had 22 offers when Arkansas offered him. If he had to cut his recruiting off, he went to 33 quick. I'm telling you, they are doing a job evaluating. That's when you know you're doing the right thing. When you get a kid and people say, why are they offering that kid? And then 2 months later, 3 months later, whatever, he's got 22 offers, and schools are still coming after him. You know darn well you're doing a good job evaluating, and that's what Arkansas is doing.
Well, hey, my man, thanks for coming on, giving us the insight, Otis. I know you got some articles coming up. Tell the listeners how they can keep up with Otis Kirk.
Can I throw one thing out there real quick?
You sure
Bo Casey committed to Arkansas yesterday. He went public with it today. The wide receiver at Shiloh Christian. He's a walk-on for the preferred walk-on for the 2020 class, and he's a good kid, good player. About 180 plus catches between those two Shiloh wide receivers, and both going to Arkansas. But yeah, hogbill.net. Check us out. Pigtrail Nation. Pigtrail Nation. You know the website there. All the stuff's free, man. It's just like past stuff here. It's free, so jump on board.
All right, hey Otis, thanks for taking time out, man. Let's keep up because you know it means more. We got a whole bunch of work to do up here on the hill. Correct?
You bet. Anytime you need me, Pat, just call me, man. Anytime. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. That was Otis Kirk of hogbill.net giving us his take on Arkansas's recruiting under Sam Pittman. You know, it just nothing but great vibes. You know, in the beginning, Demetrius, nobody really felt that Coach Pittman could hire a staff that could put the brand
I don't
out
care what
as
nobody
quick.
says.
We've stuck with it, and people are starting to, see just what we saw and what
Absolutely.
we knew long before Pitt came back.
You know, that really shows me that on the hill knows football. You know, we have a lot of similarities in Sam Pittman. When you look at a lot of these coaches that's been hired in the last 2 or 3 years, I'll be the first one to say it, Pat. You know, you're the first one to even mention these guys' names to even get on my radar. You know, I can think back to even Coach Neighbors. You know, nobody thought Coach Neighbors was going to be here, and you knew Coach Neighbors was coming. You know, almost a month or 2 months before anybody even thought about it. So, you know, it's a blessing to work with such a guy like yourself that has so much ties and insight to the game, because it allows me to take my knowledge of the game and expand it and network with great people and coaches that I would never get to talk to.
Sauced Up Radio, I see. Real quick, I know we got to compliment yourself because you got to tell people how they can get on all of your platforms to hear anything that is going on here at Sauced Up Radio.
Absolutely. You can check us out at On the Hill Sports Talk LLC on YouTube. You can check us out. We're making some adjustments to some Spotify stuff. A lot of people were saying they didn't like typing in On the Hill Sports Talk all the way through, so we did change it to OTH Sports Talk on OTH Sports Talk on Spotify, and then On the Hill. And for some reason, we've been having problems uploading the shows, so just bear with me. We will have all the updated shows on there. We're getting that situated, talking to the company as we speak. So we definitely got a lot that we're going to be providing you guys, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't sometimes show on the air. We're going to be doing a lot for you this upcoming season.
Well, I think that's going to close it out today. We want to give a shout-out to our guests that were able to join us in commits. 2021 defensive back out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Booker T. Washington, Keaun Parker. He came on and told us just his reasons why he wants to be a Razorback. Coach Pittman and that staff had a big part in him calling those hogs. And then also, too, they flipped it up and turned it up a notch and went and got the state of Oklahoma's top player in 2020 running back out of Carl Albert, Midwest City. Javion Hunt kept the family tie going, and the Hogs loved the reasons why he said yes to Coach Sam Pittman. He's a Pitt Hog. And then lastly, our good buddy that knows all and tells all, hogbill.net and Pigtrail Nation's Otis Kirk came on and gave us his synopsis of the two new Hogs and what's going forward for Sam Pittman and that staff on the football side of things. But I also want to give a shout out before we get out of here to our sponsors, as none of this would be possible without you guys. Lindsay and Associates with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion, located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting. Real quick, Corey's daughter had a birthday and is going to be graduating this year. Very, very incredible young lady, Karai. Belated happy birthday and a very well-deserved congratulations on your senior year graduation. I know you're going to do a great job in Memphis, so go kill it. But, yeah, KB, CB, just wanted to let you know, very, very belated happy birthday. And also, too, lastly, our good buddy, KDK's Chicken. They're down at 989 South Razorback Road. Go catch Keith and Kathy. Get a plate of that love. Demetrius, you was just over there earlier. You going back? They say it's not your mama's on the building, but we say they got the best chicken and waffles in the South. Meet us there or beat us there. KDK's Chicken at 989 South Razorback Road. That's going to do it for myself, my producer. We'll be back tomorrow because we got a lot more to go. We got to end the week the right way. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You guys have a blessed one. Get it.